What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged. And just like the dinosaurs, we have to evolve. This was the 2022 Raptor, fantastic little thing. But now, new for 2025, we now have this Raptor X. So let's waste no more time. Let's get into the review and see what this thing's all about. Let's go. So guys, like all DC Unplugged reviews, we're gonna work on the top of the bars and work our way through the scooter while also letting you guys know specs and bits and pieces about the scooter. So make sure you're listening out. So guys, we'll make our way over from the right hand of the bars and work our way all the way over to the left hand side of the bars. So starting off with the grips, I'll just talk about these in pairs along with the brakes, but these grips actually aren't too bad. You can definitely upgrade these for a better set, but straight out of the box aren't half bad grips. Moving along, would have seen we've got hydraulic brakes, guys. We've got Zoom hydraulic brakes. These feel absolutely fantastic. Moving straight across from that, we've then got our throttle. We have thumb throttle on this one, guys. Like the old one, it was actually trigger. This one is thumb throttle, so very, very nice. And here we have our power button. If we turn our scooter on, it's then going to ask for our NFC. That's our beautiful screen. No real cool startup sequence, which is a bit of a shame because it is actually quite a beautiful display. But yeah, more about this display in just a quick second, guys. We'll just move along here. And of course, we've got our instrument cluster, which is pretty cool. We do have obviously our headlights, which is also illuminated, letting us know that what's on and off. We've also got indicator left and right, which do actually work really well. We can even put hazards on. And obviously we can toggle those however we want. Very, very loud horn, guys. This is basically a motorbike horn, and it's hidden underneath the front wheel, so very, very loud. Give us a listen. Extremely loud for what it is. And straight across from that, we then have our dual motor switch, which illuminates in this very nice blue. Now, of course, we're going to talk about cool little things like this throughout the entire video. This scooter has a lot of really cool features. Like, perfect example is this illuminates. Now, not only does it illuminate on the screen here, we have a little bike symbol, and on that little bike symbol, it actually has a little wheel, and we can actually, pressing the dual motor, it lets us know on the screen as well. Now over here we have the power, probably low light, we probably won't be able to see it as good, but we've got power in the middle, up and down. Now this is just for your gears. Up on the dash here, you'll see them clicking through. You can see us go through the gears just there, right hand top corner. We've also got, let us know our lights are on as well on here, as well as it being illuminated on the switch, and also our percentage of battery, which we've got 98%, which is pretty good. We've also got our OD. We can toggle by tapping, trip, max speed, average, current voltage, and how long the scooter's been on for. And then obviously back around to our OD again. Another thing to talk about is the bars. We actually have almost bike bars on this, and it already sits quite high, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Along here, we have a clamp like a BMX bike, so if this is too tall for you, you can get mountain bike bars and do a lot of really cool nifty stuff. Uses a standard 31.8 millimeter bar, so you can throw anything in there from a mountain bike, which is great. Further down here, there's a big yellow thing here. That's our latch for obviously locking the stem in when we're folding it, which we'll show you how to fold it in just a second. Obviously going down the stem here, we've got the Raptor X, nicely painted into it. Actually, it's not even a sticker. Another thing to talk about just quickly too, guys, is this really, really nice cable management stuff. This is really like premium. Just in general, the whole scooter is actually super premium, looks amazing. So yeah, just something I wanted to really touch on there too, is it just the cable management on the 2025 is impeccable. So moving down, so this is our folding mechanism for the 2025 Raptor X. We have ourselves a little plastic clip which we just move to the side, our release, and then we have this pin here. This little quick release pin is another safety mechanism within the system itself to stop it from flicking up. But once we remove that pin, we can now fold our scooter down. So along with that, you can obviously grab our little tongue here, click it into place, and we can now pick up our scooter, like so. It's Speaking of picking up the scooter, guys, this is actually a little bit heavier than the old generation scooter. The reason why that is they've gone into massive lengths to make this scooter not only feel a lot more premium, but to just in general be a lot more premium than the old one. It's the same thing with this folding mechanism, but in reverse. All the same stuff. Very easy to put together, super simple, and really sturdy folding mechanism too. So the reason why this is a lot heavier of a scooter than the old generation, which is just sitting over our shoulder here, is they've gone not only for a lot stronger stem here, but they've also gone a bigger battery. So now the upgraded version of that scooter over there is standard, is a standard battery. So this standard version is 23.5 amp hour. That was the upgraded version of that old scooter. The old scooter's base model was an 18.5, so it's a lot smaller amp hour battery. So now we've got a 23 amp hour scooter as a base, and the top higher option, which is what this one is a 29.6 amp hour battery, or 8 or 9, something like that, but straight off the top. So it is a massive increase in battery capacity, which is obviously then going to lead to a heavier scooter, and along with a lot more rigid frame or chassis. So speaking of, let's get straight into what's underneath this folding mechanism here. Is our stem. Now this stem is not only beautiful to look at, but it also hides a little Easter egg. It's got the same cool little diamond design inside of here, which cut out, and you can just see that little horn poking through on the back there. Another new thing for 2025 is, of course, the new swing arms and suspension. We now have four shocks on all four corners of this scooter, along with these beautiful new arms. They look absolutely fantastic. And of course, we've got our zoom brakes, hydraulic, of course, with 160mm rotors, guys. Not 140, 160 from the factory. Don't even have to upgrade it, which is awesome. Now, coming along the deck here, guys, we will get to the motors in just a second. I'm sure you guys are busting at the seams to know what those motors are pushing out, but we've got a nice rubberized deck with a really cool claw logo with the Raptor X inside of it, and this is all nice squishy rubber, which is great because you can wipe this down easy as instead of skateboard kind of styled grip tape. Beautiful design along the side here, guys. This is probably one of my favorite parts about the scooter, is just this whole bottom part just cohesively looks so aggressive, so beautiful, and just so well put together. And of course, we cannot not talk about the scooter and not mention, of course, the claw underglow underneath, which is so cool when you're riding around of a night time. It's just one of those things that just makes the scooter so much better. Moving down the side, we've also got that Raptor X logo that is well lit. We've got rear, again, those swing arms, beautiful, and again, rear zoom hydraulic brakes with 160mm rear discs. Fantastic bit of kit. And of course, we have our mudguard, which goes right the way down, so that's going to stop you from getting a lot of splashback, which is great. And again, you've got the two shocks on the back. We've got this beautiful solid metal or cast kick plate here, which is where you put your foot, so your foot can either stand here or here when you're really getting into it, and of course your leading foot up the front. Comes with all-terrain tires from the get-go, so you can have a bit of both road and off-road capability tires. Of course, me being me, and this is just me, complete subjective to everyone else and what they want, but I prefer road tires. I reckon that'd be a really neat little upgrade for this, is to put some nice slick road tires on there, and this will be just as smooth as butter. Now we've gone through everything, guys. This is a 52 volt system. That's what's in the deck of this scooter, paired with 1200 watt motors. So we've got 1200 watt motors over the 1000 watt motors that were in that one. So we've gone up in power, which is great. And I believe the controller is actually a little bit bigger as well. As to what it is, I don't know, like at this very point in time, and I'd have to pull this scooter apart to find out, and I'm really not keen on doing that. Oh, you really thought that I wasn't going to open that deck of that scooter and find out for you? Yeah, I opened it up. And it is a 25 amp controller. Oh, and also it has a mad little waterproof lining inside the deck too. So probably still only a splash resistance, so definitely can't handle a lot of water, but also good to know. Now, the whole reason why we're doing a review is we just wanted to come really closely here and suss out the scooter and really get our first eyes and look at everything. Now, a lot of you train spotters would have probably found out that, hang on, the screen went to 9. Why did it go to 9? Well, that is just one of the many cool little adaptations to this scooter that you can do. You can have the standard 3 modes, or you can have 6, or you can have 9. I chose to go with 9 because I do like making my scooter go to certain speeds in certain gear levels. So as that gear increases, you get more of a range of what speed it jumps up to. So that for me was a big thing, especially now we have a lot of scooter speeding and stuff like that. It's easier to drop down in gears and make sure you're doing the right speed limit, so which is fantastic. Now, going through the scooter, the throttle is butter smooth, or I find it is anyway. Of course, with any dual motor scooters, as soon as you click it into dual, it does get a little bit twitchy, but that's something that you can easily just manage, and you'll get used to over time. Myself, I really like the thumb. I'm actually as I've ridden so many different scooters, I no longer favor trigger or thumb. I'm kind of happy with both. But if I was to take a pick, I'd probably more or less go thumb. It just feels a little bit more natural, more like a bike. So that kind of natural, you know, instead of kind of that. But either, I'm cool with both. But if I was to pick one, yeah, thumb would probably be mine. And this is really nice. So again, along too, we've got the Zoom hydraulic brakes. Personally, one of my favorite for these e-scooters out of a factory, out of the box. These work beautiful. They are buttery smooth, which are fantastic. The whole frame on this is so much more rigid than the old one behind me there. We've ridden quite a few Ks on this. We've almost got 1,000 Ks on it already, and it feels great. 100 Ks. This feels great. Even with 100 Ks on it, when I did 100 Ks on the old Raptor, I had to adjust a couple of things, tighten a couple of things. I haven't really had to do much on this, which is fantastic. It's it's definitely looking like it's a much better upgrade over its older brother back there. So another thing too is the motors on these are a lot wider, so that means that we have a lot more of a torquier motor. That poor thing over there used to absolutely suffer when it came to hills. It was so bad the Dragon GTR V2, which is a lesser scooter than that, could beat it up a hill. And when I say beat it up a hill, I mean absolutely tromp it. And that thing is a 52 volt compared to a 48 volt. And all the difference was just a wider magnet, which created more torque. So this actually now has more torque, which is fantastic. So no more struggling going up hills or keeping at a certain pace and not actually feeling like you're getting anywhere, or if it's gonna choke out at some point. So fantastic to see there's a way more torque over the old generation Raptor. Another lovely, obviously, new commodity that I have been seeing Dragon do a lot lately, and I am all for it, is those rubberized decks. To clean your scooter, that makes so much more sense. It is so much more grippier, and it's just easier to clean and maintain. Yeah guys, so all in all, this is an absolutely fantastic scooter. Now, on paperwork, it does say that this scooter is supposed to run or get to about 65 kilometers an hour as the top speed. Of course guys, we will test that in a private track in Mexico, but we will get those test results for you to see if it actually gets there, what speed it'll do. We'll probably do a couple of track tests as well. But guys, this is an absolute gem compared to its older thing. Now, that's not to say this was a fantastic scooter when it came out. It was just great, but the evolution of the Raptor and moving into this is just night and day. And it is an absolute pleasure to ride. Not only that, is you can probably see behind me actually the rake of the stem goes right back and actually falls like almost intrusive into your area, if you will, in here. So if you guys can see that, hopefully I'll zoom in on the when I'm editing, but you can see that this sits up a lot more stirred, like a lot more straighter, and the steering is a lot more smoother. It doesn't feel so twitchy like the old one did, and this just gives you a lot more room, and it feels like there's a lot more room in there. Now guys, I am 178 centimeters tall. You can see this kind of comes up to my chest, so it is quite a tall standing scooter, which once you stand on the scooter itself, you can see here I do have a bit of a bend in my arms. And yeah, it is definitely a higher it is definitely more of a high standing scooter, so you are going to have that natural, like, instead of it being down and a bit comfortable like that, it is sitting more upright. So for me, 178 centimeters tall, that's me. I'm also a 90 kilo rider, or 95 kilo rider, so we'll see how the range test gets on with this as well. Trust me, there's a lot of videos coming out, guys, and I know I was meant to get this video out to you guys earlier, but we've been moving house and there's been a whole bunch of stuff that's been happening. Trust me, if I could see the future, I would have had this out way earlier. Anyway, guys, I hope this was a great video and this was very informative to you guys. It's a fantastic scooter, guys. If you are any fan of the Raptor, of the old Raptor, this is a very, very warm welcoming scooter. The suspension feels fantastic. It's a little bit more firm than the old one, but it is definitely worth that little bit of firmness, because I got a little bit numb over a couple of bumps and you couldn't quite tell what was going on underneath the scooter, but this just feels so much more premium. The suspension feels so much better and you can feel everything underneath you and what's going on with the scooter. So yes, it is definitely a big thumbs up from me. Get amongst the Raptor X. This thing is awesome. Anyway, guys, we'll see you all in the next video. See you next time.